So Jarrad, go straight to you, mate. How are you approaching the opportunity to create a bit of history? 3 consecutive grand finals or premierships.
Yeah, good question. We've been asked that a fair bit over the course of the pre-season, and I suppose for us, look, you know, all the supporters would love to see it. Obviously, the club would love to see it, but it hasn't been a focus of ours. We know that you know, when you've won the last 2, you're going to be hunted even more so from the other clubs, and all we've been focused on is to make sure that we keep improving, because as we saw last year, the competition was fairly even, and we were able to come away with the premiership, but we know this year's going to be even tougher. So look, hasn't been a major focus, it hasn't been a talking point, but if it happens, fantastic for the footy club, but we just want to make sure we get there first.
And Billy, how's the feeling heading into 2016, and what's been the focus of West Perth's preparation?
Oh, look, it's a funny time of year. We're excited that we're about to play. We're a little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive about the changes we made to our game plan and some new players we've brought in. But the overall thing is we're ready to go for this week against South, and we look forward to a fantastic season.
And welcome, Jaymie. First year in the role at East Perth. How do you feel it's you've been going heading into the first game?
Yeah, like Billy, a little bit excited, a bit nervous at the same time. You know, we've been preparing pretty hard since November, and yeah, excited about round 1. Remember the feeling as a player, and I've probably got the same feeling as a coach, and yeah, just want to see how, I suppose, our game plan holds up. We've been working hard on it, and yeah, looking forward to getting round 1 out of the way.
Over to you guys.
Jarrad, start with you. Lost a fair chunk of your forward line, and you've got some new faces in there. How have you gone about preparing with such different personnel in a key area?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, look, last year I think we were the best defence, and obviously our attack was well spoken and well documented. And losing Jarrad to Fremantle, which I dare say he might line up against us this week, is big shoes to fill, and you know, Matty Bowen as well. So look, how do you go about it? Well, you've got to expose the young fellas that have been playing in the 2s the last couple of years to step up. You know, we still feel like we've got a pretty competitive forward line in young Halligan, kicked 30-odd goals last year. We brought a young fella from South Fremantle, Ben Sokol, who kicked 50 goals in the 2s. In these last 2 weeks, he's kicked 2 bags of 5. And then we've been able to bring in a fella that's been on an AFL list and played 1 game for us this year, in Jaymie Shepherd, as a key forward. We feel like that he can make a bit of a difference to us, but it's just going to be a collective group to make sure that we kick enough goals to win. And we know what our KPIs are, and yeah, I suppose for us, we just got to make sure we get the right mix. And like, you know, the gentlemen either side of me have said, we've had to tweak our game plan to accommodate new faces, and yeah, this year is a new year.
How disappointing was it to lose Ridley before you had him?
Yeah, well, look, he was only with us for probably about 6 weeks. He looked exciting, but looked fantastic for the kid to get another opportunity. But you know, you've always got to have plan B and C. You know, if you put all your eggs into one basket, well, then you do fall short. So look, once the Essendon thing came about, we probably predicted that, being a Victorian had only just moved over 6 weeks prior, we sort of felt that he was probably going to be an obvious choice, considering they were lacking tall. So the wheels were in motion for us to look to that plan B, and we feel like we've been able to achieve that.
Yeah, just about being the hunters. It's clearly something, though, that the boys handled pretty well, given the last 2 seasons. Yeah,
look, I think the way that we design our training, we're a competitive bunch, like all sides, but you know, we train our boys that way. The culture of our footy club, players have to fight for their positions, and it's no different when you come up against other sides that want to really test themselves against you. Last year, I think we counted, on 9 or 10 occasions, they were top of the table clashes against sides. So it really prepared us for finals last year, and I think it's hardened our young boys as well. And not only just the league players that played last year, over the last couple of years, but also our reserves, you know, and I think it's a testament to where the club's at. And we're definitely looking for the improvement of those players that have been playing in the 2s to step up and fill the void of the players that have left, and be prepared that, yeah, look, when you've won 2 flags, you're going to be hunted, and it's no different to any other side, I suppose.
Where do you see Broad playing on half-back, Broad, Cocky, or is it something?
Well, if you ask those fellas, Adam's one out in the goal square and Greggy Broughton's in the midfield. You know, he keeps telling him in the scratch match, I want to play on the wing. So, look, the obvious choice is, Greggy across half-back. We'll throw him through the midfield. He's got experience. He's played over 100 AFL games. Adam Cocky, he's played for Victoria. He's a quality inside bullocking midfield. We lose Sam Meningola with his inside work and his outside run, but I think we've gained a very good inside footballer in Adam Cocky.
Oh, look, that gets spoken about a fair bit externally. It's probably not the way we focus it. We're extremely disappointed with the finish of our season last year. A lot of things didn't go the way we planned for them to go. If we had our time again, we'd change a few things. So revenge is probably not the word. It's our players, like most seasons, are motivated. I'd like to think that their personal pride after getting a bit of a touch-up in the grand final would mean that, their motivation is strong. But, we work on what we can change and affect, and we can't change or affect what happened last year. So our focus has been, looking to areas to improve. Obviously, we look at Jarrad's side and say, they do a lot of things well. They're the benchmark. But I'm sure if you ask all the other 7 coaches apart from Jarrad and I, they all think they're going to play finals. They've all made improvements. They've recruited well. They've brought kids on. So, just to focus on Subiaco would be the wrong thing to do. But this time of year, without playing opposition, it's about challenging ourselves and working out what we can do better.
Next up, tell us what he can bring, and also why you sort of elected to focus more on guys coming through their own club rather than go out and get a couple of really big tickets.
If you read the West Perth financial statements, it's pretty easy to understand why we look from within. No, look, that's something that we like to do. We think that's part of what our job in the northern suburbs is. We recruit like all sides do, and we recruit within our budgets, and we've added a couple of little things. We think that predominantly the players we've got at the club can do the job. We would love to add a couple more, but we haven't been able to do that. We've just added a little bit of outside run and goal kicking from our small forwards in Duffy, Leeson, ex-Perth, and Keegan Knott, who's been really keen and played 19 games or so at Claremont. So it probably just means we're going to structure a little differently in our forward half, but predominantly we'll keep rewarding our kids, and that's both a decision from the football department and from the bean counters.
And just on Duffy as well, what he can bring is a talent around goals. Is that what you think you're going to use him in half forward or both in the middle, or what do you plans?
Yeah, look, we recruited Max, and I think I have to as a coach, and anyone in the room or anyone who's coached Max, he's a little bit different, and he brings a little bit of X factor, so to speak, to your side. So I've agreed to him, and I've asked our match committee to be really patient, that we don't jump on him when he does things a little bit outside the square. We just think that's something that we've lacked. Whether it's a strength or a weakness of the way I coach, we try and have everyone doing the same thing and rowing in the same direction, but we've probably just gone outside that a little bit just to mix it up, and hopefully that'll keep opposition sides guessing.
Jaymie, what is the coach Jaymie Graham like? Can you tell us what your sort of game plan is going to be, what your blueprint of coaching is, what your beliefs are?
Yeah, obviously with the partnership we try and implement a similar game plan, maybe strip back a little bit with West Coast. I think it's important that the AFL listed players come down and they know the game plan, so it helps, and I think it helps our East Perth group as well. The biggest thing we've been focusing on is I suppose lifting the training standards and also the chemistry and the unity amongst the boys. We're developing a tight-knit group at East Perth, and the biggest challenge, I suppose, in any partnership is that chemistry between the two groups, and we've done a few things over the pre-season which hopefully helps with that. We've had a couple of practice games which we probably haven't had in the past, so they're the obvious challenges. But yeah, I think the boys, if they can really lift their standards in training, I think it can take it out on game day.
How big are the losses? Brendan Lee and Freddie played like two, obviously.
Yeah, it does hurt. We've obviously, with Brendan Lee gone, we've noticed it already, just in 2 practice games, that real leadership and just around the club. And obviously Freddie Clutterbuck, he's over 100 game player for the club, and yeah, it is disappointing to lose senior players. But at the same time, we have a young group of boys who have been working hard, and with 2 spots there available, it just opens up opportunities for others. So it's hard, but like Scully said earlier, you need to have a plan B, and we think we've got a little bit more depth than last year, and we've got some young guys who are developing, so they'll get their opportunities.
Jaymie, do you anticipate you'll use the 90 interchange like AFL?
No, I think we'll use what's required, and if we think more is better, we'll do that. Yeah, obviously depending on weather, what type of players we've got available, but I think we'll use more than 90, yes.
And how many Eagles do you anticipate having on Saturday?
This weekend we could have up to, I suppose, potentially 17 available, but whether they all play is another thing. We need to obviously respect the partnership and, like others, select with some integrity. And yeah, we'll have those challenges throughout the year, and yeah, we'll deal with those as they come.
Craig Wolf breaks the club record if he plays on Saturday.
Yeah.
What's he meant for the club?
Oh, Wolfie bleeds black and blue. He's the heart and soul. He obviously, his pressure that he provides us is outstanding, and he just leads by his example. So, Wolfie's trying to play this week down like he does, but yeah, it is a big week for the club, and yeah, I'm sure he'll get his opportunity, and looking forward to seeing him lead the club.